which is the whole ABC thing. I know a good bit about the therapy, REBT, the underpinnings and Ellis and stuff like that, but not a whole lot. For me, my approach to therapy is is having kind of a vast array of tool belt sort of thing, and that's kind of my approach. And for me, my goal toward mastery and my style of therapy is to be able to connect with a client and join strongly with them, identify kind of where they're at, if they're in more of an emotional place, more of a cognitive place, or kind of in between somewhere else, maybe existential, something like that, and to be able to connect strongly with that, and to be able to pull from my tool belt that which may work best for them at that time. And now, all they know is that they feel really, really bad. For clients that this fits with, again, it's really interesting to be able to say, okay, well, this crazy guy came up with this way of conceptualizing what's going on here. Let's see if it's a fit for you. Okay, so then kind of talking through the whole ABC thing, and it's amazing how they can, their eyes kind of will light up and kind of like, okay, I kind of understand what's going on, and they walk away feeling like, okay, this isn't me. I'm not crazy. It's not just the situation that has so much control over me. There's a process going on here. Now I understand it, and I understand how I can be a part of changing this. So for that reason alone, I really, really like using this. But again, for me, it's got to be an appropriate fit for the client at the right time. Okay? I hope that makes sense. Just nod your heads. That's okay. Don't do that. Okay. All right, good. Let's go here. Let me, so I'm going to be, I just want to talk for a few minutes. I'm not going to give you a whole lot of in-depth stuff about this. I'll show you the ABC thing in a second. Demo, and then I want to spend most of the time with question and answer, because that's how I kind of feel like I can relay the information best to you. Again, kind of fitting with my model of wanting to connect with where you're at and what your needs are in terms of learning from this, rather than coming in with this assumption that they need to know this, and this about REBT. I'll do a demo, and if they have questions, they can call me later. So it's just kind of flowing with my style here. Let me see. So two people can go into the same movie and come out, and one loved it and one absolutely hated it, but they watched the same thing, right? Standing in front of the Mona Lisa or something like that, and someone's like, oh my gosh, just yawning, this is boring, I can't believe I'm looking at this. This other person is just crying, this is the most amazing thing I've seen in my life. Two completely different perceptions of the exact same thing that they're looking at, okay? And I'll give you another illustration as I go about explaining a little bit about this whole ABC thing. All right. Okay. Lots of colors to keep you awake. Okay, so we got the A, the whole activating event. This is what's going to initiate someone coming in. Okay, something happened at some point in time, somewhere, somehow. Okay, so that's going to lead to, and I'm not going to follow this circle nicely yet. So what we're going to see when they come in, we're going to hear this at some point, but what we're going to see most of the time when clients come in are C. Okay, so we got the activating event, beliefs or thoughts. Okay, this is getting annoying here. Beliefs or thoughts, but I also like to think of beliefs/thoughts as perception. Okay, because that was the whole thing with perception that I was talking about a minute ago. Because perception dictates what? Okay, experience, consequences, your reality. All right. So, all right. Okay, I know my poor cohort this week has had to deal with this. So, okay, beliefs, and then thoughts. Okay, and then perception, whatever's going to help you grasp what this whole B thing is about, okay? And then consequences. All right, so let me give you an example here, a real-life example. So about 3 weeks ago, I received this nice little email that said, hey, Rob, we want you to do a faculty demo. I've never done a faculty demo. This is my first one ever. So, activating event. All right, we'll skip over this because most people it's kind of an automatic thought sort of process, and we go straight to this because we don't know that all this is going on, right? Okay, so activating event. Get the stupid email asking me to do the stupid demo, all right? Straight to consequences. Consequences being, oh my God, so scared. I've never felt this much fear in my life. I'm gonna die. I'll get fired. They'll hate me. Seriously, like, that's kind of where I go. But unconsciously, this is where a lot of us go, right? We have these crazy, irrational thoughts that create these pretty major feelings, these major experiences. So my fear was made up of what? Well, I had to stop and think about it and go, okay, so let me put some of these principles to work. So, okay, I feel terrible about this. I don't want to feel terrible about this. I want to really have this be a good, positive experience. So I need to change the outcome, the consequences, okay? So tracing back to, okay, what am I telling myself that's creating this huge amount of fear? Okay, first, I'm going to do a horrible job, okay? If I do a horrible job, then all the learners and my faculty will think I'm just terrible and absolutely hate me, and I'll possibly get fired from my job because I'm so lousy at this, and they'll realize that I really don't know what I'm doing, and it just kind of goes on and on. But realistically, this is the craziness that can be created from this whole fear thing, all right? And so stepping back is like, okay, realistically, I love teaching. I love doing presentations and demos. I've done it with my cohorts. This is my 7th or 8th residency, and this is one of my favorite things to do. And so I also have been looking forward to doing this. I knew that I was going to do this at some point when I came on with Capella several years ago. So I've been looking forward to doing this for a long time. All right, so that whole set of beliefs right there, what do you think that's going to do in terms of my experience, my consequences? It started making me a little bit excited about this, started making me a little bit optimistic. I'm like, oh my God, I'm kind of looking forward to this. Now, the activating event, I can't change that. That happened, okay? And the consequence, I'm going to still feel a little fearful because I've never done this. This is kind of the unknown, that sort of thing. And I have been. I've been a little nervous and anxious more than usual and kind of thinking about this and waking up early in the morning and kind of like, activating event, that's natural stuff. I can't expect to have this perfect Zen sort of experience through this. But I don't have to be as crazy fearful as I was before, right? So new thoughts, new perception of my situation give me a whole new outlook, new consequences, new experience of it, okay? Does that make sense if you're totally distressed?
Yeah, I'm feeling real distressed. I lost my job 6 months ago.
Okay.
And it's just been getting harder and harder and harder.
Right. So you lost your job 6 months ago. Yeah. Tell me more about that.
Well, I got fired.
Okay.
And as much as I'd like to chalk it up to, my boss being, not my favorite person in the world,
Mm-hmm.
they said it was a downsize.
Right.
And many other people were laid off at the same time, but I got terminated.
Right. It's been 6 months.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how is this playing out for you now, so many months later?
Here
you are,
yeah.
and you said distress. Tell me more about that.
It's just gotten worse and worse and worse as the months are going on.
Worse like how?
Well, my home's in foreclosure.
Wow.
I haven't been able to make any mortgage payments.
Right.
And of course, my credit cards aren't being paid, haven't been paid for a number of months. My car got repossessed.
Wow.
We don't have any food in the house hardly. I mean, it's really just...
So the situation's got to be pretty dire, it sounds like.
Yeah. I'd say so.
And so distress, what is distress? What has that been doing? How's that been getting in the way?
Well, at my age, I can't get another job. That's just not going to happen. I've been steadily putting out resumes. I had several interviews and was given 2 job offers, but they just they weren't really what I wanted.
Right. Yeah. So at your age, you're thinking it's going to be really difficult for you to be able to find anything that's out there, and you've had a couple of opportunities, but nothing came of that. And so where is that leaving you now?
Feeling kind of hopeless.
Okay, hopeless.
Yeah, I don't see an end in sight anytime soon. And in this economy, I mean, I'm certainly not alone out there by any means.
Sure, of
But
course.
you know, it's a real